In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Mandrell with his record-setting pit droid team from the Phantom Menace line. Obviously, this is one of the pod racers from the Phantom Menace, and he's a very neat one at that. I'm happy to finally add him to my collection. I have mentioned before that I used to own the Deadbolt and the Mars Goon, or the Mars Guo from the Saga collection. Unfortunately, I decided to part ways with it many years ago, and I wish I didn't do that, so I will be tracking that down again at some point. But in the meantime, my goal is I do hope to track down all the pod racers that Hasbro has, or the pod racer pilots that Hasbro has made over the years. Some of the pod racers too, that would be nice. They haven't made them all, but they've made a large majority of them. Of course, there's Ben Quadraneros, and then one we'll be taking a look at here next. Then was there, of course, Anakin, and then I'm sure there's many more out there. Throughout the years, they've been trickled in here and there, but I don't really foresee Hasbro really making any more of the pod racer pilots. But who knows? You never know. They might surprise us. But it's a pretty simple action figure. Not a whole lot to say about it, but it is nice for what it is. And now, I'm not sure if they ever actually made his particular pod racer. If you recall in the scene, he's the pilot that had the pit droid team that sucked its way through his engine and then took him out of the race that way. It's kind of a humorous scene there. We'll look at this package here real quick. Typical Phantom Menace or Episode 1 package with Maul. Mandrell right there. Contact chip. And Mandrell with Otoga 222 pit droid. Which I'm glad to finally add this particular type of pit droid to my collection. I've never owned one before. It's very nice. I think this is one that showed up in the Dave Filoni Clone Wars series that's carrying the, what was it, during the Shadow Virus episodes, I think it was. In Season 1. The description there. Some of his lines. Very fascinated by some of these lines. I wonder if... I've never actually heard his voice lines with the chip, but we'll try that out here in a minute. I wonder if any of these actually sound like his native language, which I would assume is possibly Huttese, or if it's going to translate to English. Then some of the other action figures from the line. I do have Valorum reviewed. Tarpals will be coming soon. Then, yeah, Gasgano with the pit droid I'll be reviewing next. So some pretty good action figures. So you can tell this package is a little bit yellowed. But fortunately, the action figures are in pretty good shape. You know, let's look at this little pit droid first. I'm very fascinated by him. He's very neat. So you can see his head there. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but he does have a set of eyes up here. First you think it might be like antennas, but no, those are regular eyes. It's a little bit of that green tint. And you can tell he's got some weathering on him. He's seen some action. It's interesting how these droids have a little bit of a belly on them too. A little bit of that beer belly. It's hard to tell if this is really an action figure or if this qualifies as an accessory. There's not a whole lot you can do with them. Their articulation is very basic. Nothing in the head really, and then you just have swivel shoulders and then swivel hips, and that's it. And yeah, I suppose he could hold on to something with the way his hands are set up, but he doesn't actually come with any accessories. Yeah. And he's very hard to stand on his own. I'm probably going to have to prop him up against Mandrell there. Still, nice to add one of those to the collection. And of course, Odie himself here. Not 100% sure what his species is, but obviously he's a very lean character. For his headgear here, you can easily take that off. Reveal what his face looks like. It's very alien, looks really neat. He has a large cranium back here. Then it's easy enough to put his headgear back into place. Then you can get it to line up with his eyes. You just see his eyes there. And then of course his little speaker there can go right over his mouth. As for the rest of his outfit, pretty basic. It's not really a whole lot to say about his clothes, I guess. But he does have some nice details in his rest of his body, though, especially his arms. These combinations of purples and blues, and looks like he has some white at the tips of his hands. Or light blue, I should say. Kind of matching the other side of his arm there. Then for his legs, like I said, very lean. And does have these wrappings around. And they are wrappings because you can see the back of his legs are purple. While the front is blue. Then his feet, very interesting shaped. He has 5 toes there basically, but it's more in a hexagonal or pentagon shape. It's not quite a pentagon, but closer to a hexagon, I guess. And thankfully he does fit pretty well in the stand. No accessories unless you count the headgear, and then I'm sure they count the little droid here as like an accessory. Yeah, he doesn't stand too well on his own. Without the help of the stand, Otoga Mandrell, status pod racer pilot. Image of him right there. And let's see what his voice lines are. So they do have it in his native language. Very fascinating. I really like those voice lines. Adds some character to him. Does he interact with anyone? No, it doesn't seem like it. That'd be neat to get some of these that don't speak, or they speak in their native language, to interact with one another. And it's hard to get them to stand on their own. 1 second here. Just wanted to do a quick comparison, and it's the action figure we'll be taking a look at next. The, what is it, Garguno or something like that, with the other pet droid here. And I think these were, besides Sebulta and then Anakin, I think these were the only real side characters we've gotten from the pod racer pilots for the Phantom Menace line. And of course we've had a few trickle in here and there. So would I recommend Otoga Mandrell for your collection? If you're a fan of aliens, pod racer pilots, you name it, anything along those sorts, then yes, he's highly recommended. Very easy action figure to get a hold of. You're not going to have to break the bank for him. $10 or less even, brand new, loose, however you want them. And it's a very nice action figure. Glad to add them to the collection. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I just appreciate all your support. And check out some links in the description if you haven't done so already. As always, thanks for watching.